Ever wonder which political figures had a darker side hidden from the public? Today, we're diving into the stories of American leaders who crossed ethical lines, committing shocking crimes behind closed doors. Get ready to uncover secrets that changed the course of history. Aaron Burr. Aaron Burr, the third Vice President of the United States, is widely remembered for his infamous duel with Alexander Hamilton. However, few know of Burr's deeper scandal, a plot to carve out a new empire in North America, one that could have altered U.S. history. In 1806, Burr allegedly began assembling a private army with the intent to seize territory in the western frontier, including parts of Texas and Mexico. This venture, known as the Burr Conspiracy, was one of the earliest and most shocking instances of alleged treason by a high-ranking American official. Burr's ambitions extended beyond personal gain. He hoped to establish an independent nation, potentially under his own rule, fueled by a belief that he had been wronged by political rivals and deserved a fresh start in leadership. To finance his ambitions, he formed alliances with powerful figures, including British agents and disgruntled Americans. Burr's conspiracy was thwarted when a close associate revealed the plot to President Thomas Jefferson. Burr was arrested and tried for treason, but narrowly escaped conviction due to lack of solid evidence. Although acquitted, Aaron Burr's dark ambition tainted his legacy, cementing him as one of America's most controversial political figures. Spiro Agnew. Spiro Agnew, vice president under Richard Nixon, presented himself as a champion of law and order. But behind this image, Agnew was hiding a history of corruption and financial crimes that eventually led to his resignation. Before becoming vice president, Agnew served as the governor of Maryland, where he orchestrated a scheme involving kickbacks and bribery from contractors in exchange for government contracts. This corrupt behavior continued even as he assumed the role of vice president, with Agnew reportedly receiving envelopes stuffed with cash inside the White House. The scandal unraveled in 1973 when federal investigators uncovered evidence of Agnew's tax evasion and bribery. Facing overwhelming pressure, Agnew entered a plea deal to avoid jail time, agreeing to plead no contest to tax evasion charges in exchange for resigning from office. His decision marked the first time in American history that a sitting vice president resigned due to criminal charges. Agnew's fall from grace exposed the potential for corruption within the highest offices of the land, shocking the American public. The scandal also led to calls for greater accountability in government, with Agnew's legacy serving as a cautionary tale of power abused in pursuit of personal gain. James Traficant. James Traficant, the outspoken Ohio congressman known for his eccentric style and fiery speeches, shocked the nation when his criminal exploits came to light. Traficant's political career began with a reputation for standing up for his constituents, but his behind-the-scenes dealings revealed a pattern of corruption. For years, Traficant engaged in bribery, extortion, and racketeering, pocketing kickbacks from contractors and forcing his aides to kick back part of their salaries to him. In 2002, after a lengthy investigation, Traficant was convicted on 10 felony counts, including bribery, tax evasion, and racketeering. Even as the trial exposed his criminal activities, Traficant remained unapologetic, often defending himself with flamboyant rhetoric and refusing to back down. His conviction marked a rare instance of a sitting member of Congress being expelled by a House vote, reflecting the gravity of his offenses. Traficant's story exemplifies how unchecked power can lead to corruption, even among those initially perceived as public servants. Despite his popularity among some supporters, his criminal record overshadowed his career, casting a long shadow over his legacy and illustrating the risks of political power used for personal enrichment. Richard Nixon. Richard Nixon's presidency was marked by achievements in foreign policy and significant legislative victories, but his legacy was forever tarnished by the Watergate scandal, a conspiracy that exposed Nixon's deep involvement in illegal activities. The scandal began with a break-in at the Democratic National Committee headquarters in the Watergate complex in 1972, an operation executed by members of Nixon's re-election campaign, the Committee to Re-elect the President, CREEP. The burglary was intended to spy on and sabotage Nixon's political opponents, but the incident quickly spiraled into a national crisis. As journalists and investigators probed deeper, they uncovered a web of illegal wiretapping, hush money payments, and efforts by Nixon's administration to obstruct justice. Secretly recorded tapes revealed that Nixon himself had authorized efforts to cover up the break-in, showcasing his willingness to abuse presidential powers for personal and political gain. When the existence of the tapes was revealed, Nixon fought to keep them private, but a Supreme Court ruling forced him to release them, confirming his involvement. Facing imminent impeachment, Nixon resigned on August 8, 1974, becoming the first U.S. president to step down from office. His departure underscored the principle that no one, not even the president, is above the law. Watergate left a lasting impact on American politics, leading to reforms in campaign finance laws and increased checks on executive power. Nixon's presidency serves as a powerful reminder of the dangers of unchecked authority and the importance of accountability within the highest levels of government. Tom DeLay. Tom DeLay, once a prominent figure in the U.S. House of Representatives and known for his partisan loyalty, became infamous for his role in a political money laundering scandal that shook Washington. As House Majority Leader, DeLay wielded considerable influence, often using his power to consolidate Republican control in Congress. However, his aggressive fundraising tactics eventually led him into legal trouble, revealing how easily political power can be abused. In 2002, DeLay was accused of conspiring to funnel corporate donations to Texas state legislative candidates, a practice prohibited by Texas law. By allegedly laundering these donations through a series of political action committees, DeLay aimed to support Republican candidates in Texas and secure a majority in the state legislature, which would then enable him to redraw congressional districts in favor of his party. His efforts were part of what some critics referred to as a power grab, a scheme to tilt political representation through unethical means. In 2005, DeLay was charged with money laundering and conspiracy to commit money laundering, leading him to step down from his leadership position. Although he was convicted in 2010 and sentenced to 3 years in prison, his conviction was later overturned on appeal. Nonetheless, the case highlighted the intersection of money, politics, and corruption, sparking national debates over campaign finance reform. DeLay's story serves as a cautionary example of how political ambition can corrupt even the most powerful leaders, underscoring the need for strict oversight in government funding practices. William M. Tweed. William M. Tweed, often simply known as Boss Tweed, was a powerful political figure in New York City during the 19th century. As the leader of Tammany Hall, the Democratic Party's political machine in New York, Tweed orchestrated one of the largest and most brazen public embezzlement schemes in American history. His reign at Tammany Hall was marked by massive corruption and greed, as he and his cronies siphoned off enormous sums from public funds. Tweed's corruption was so extensive that it was almost cartoonish, involving the inflation of invoices, kickbacks, and outright theft of city funds. The most infamous example was the construction of the New York County Courthouse. Its costs were vastly inflated, with Tweed and his network pocketing the excess. At one point, the project was estimated to have cost taxpayers 2 to 3 times the reasonable cost due to fraud. His downfall began when his former allies turned against him, providing evidence to journalists like Thomas Nast, a cartoonist who famously depicted Tweed's corruption in Harper's Weekly. Arrested and tried, Tweed was convicted and imprisoned, although he briefly escaped before being recaptured. His legacy remains a powerful story of corruption, power, and the eventual triumph of justice. Thanks for watching C-Stew channel. If you enjoyed uncovering these secret histories, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Let us know which story surprised you most. Until next time.